Another successful mission.
You just look strangely uncomfortable. Can you ask the raptor for motivation, please? Okay.
She's very photogenic.
Nothing can stop us now.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's Chip and Dale. How are you guys doing? Hello, Grogu.
Don't be shy. If you want him over.
Now, Universal Orlando Resort, Earl the Squirrel needs his own Christmas tree over here for the meet and greet. I think so. I think we're going to make that happen. We'll put that.
4 of you have tried to kill me in the past. 1 of you succeeded.
Do you think the people on the moon ever look over and say, wow, it's a full spaceship Earth tonight? Well, welcome back to the sign welcoming you to Universal Orlando Resort.
Terrifying, isn't it?
Hiya, Scooby! We're here at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort with the newly opened Kona. I don't remember what it's called. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in, Magic Crew. If you guys are joining us for the very first time here at Ear to Ear Magic, hello, my name's Chris. I'm your Disney travel agent in the parks, and I am going to be here just to help with supporting Calvin tonight. So let's just be honest. He is my main Run Disney man, and we are here to talk about the Wine and Dine for 2023. Coming up in just, about 4 weeks from now. And we hope that you guys, if you guys are going to be running, if you're going to be here that weekend, that this is going to be an informative, just a quick 1 hour stream. Talk about some ideas, what to expect here, and get you guys prepared for your race, especially if it's your first Run Disney race. We have a few people who will be running with us in the 5K on that Friday to be a part of our community run, and it may be their very first time ever running a race. So I want to say a special thank you and bring in Calvin. And let you guys know that he is 100% dedicated to helping you guys with answering your questions, getting you guys inspired and ready to run a Run Disney race. He is one of the people who continually pushes me and makes it possible for me to do what I do at Run Disney. So as we get started tonight, guys, feel free. We're going to be having questions and stuff like that. But I want you guys just to kind of give it up and welcome in Calvin this evening. So welcome in, Calvin. How you doing tonight, sir?
Good, Chris. Hope everybody's doing well.
Well, I didn't know this was a drink.
Yeah, every time we talk about Run Disney, every time we say Run Disney, we got to take a drink.
I'm going to need more drink. So this next hour, we're going to be talking specifically about the November race. It is technically, correct me if I'm wrong, it's what in my mindset as being the last race of the season is in fact really the first race of the 2023-24 season. It kind of, because of the way it kind of they break things off, because as soon as we get done with Wine and Dine, we go right into the marathon in January. So Run Disney kind of looks at this race in November as the first race of this season.
Yep.
And so we're glad that you guys are watching and hanging out with us, whether you are racing or you're here to support and cheer. We just want to make sure that you guys know what to expect this Wine and Dine weekend. And there's going to be it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for some of you guys who've never run a Run Disney race to do it with us. But people like Jill and Gabe who've never run a race before their time last year in the 2022 Wine and Dine, who were just gung-ho ready to run another one this November. And we can't wait to have you guys all be a part of that as well. So what do you have for us tonight, my friend?
Well, I just, welcome everybody in. This is a free form kind of chat. So as we're going through, if people have questions, definitely want to, kind of address those. But we've got a few things that we want to cover tonight for sure. So we're going to start out with a little bit on training. We're going to talk a little bit about, hey, I'm coming to a race. What do I need to bring with me? And then we're going to talk about race logistics. We're going to talk about the actual weekend itself. And Chris will get into some of the fun stuff that we have planned there as well.
That's awesome. So what I would like to do is, before we kind of get started, the idea is one of the things we really need to do between now and November is get a really good idea of who is going to be coming. And we're going to give you guys, now we are streaming this also not only just on YouTube, but also on the Facebook support group page. If you have signed up for an in-person wine and dine race, and it's a 5K, and you would like to run with us as a group, we really want to make sure we know who you guys are. We want to be able to look out for you. We want to communicate with you. We want to make sure that everyone is sort of in group and working together. So one of the things we're going to be doing here very soon is finding a way to make sure everybody's down on paper, so to speak. And that's the biggest thing of my concern is if you are going to be coming for the 5K to run with us as a group, we want to make sure to expect you. If you are coming just because you're going to be here at Disney for that weekend and here to cheer and support, or even show up more for the meetups, that's wonderful. We are so happy that you guys can do that. It's not as crucial to make sure that we know, because it's just going to be an open space. You guys can come in. But if you are signed up for the 5K, and would expect to run with the group, let's wait for details, and we want to make sure to make sure that we know that you guys are coming. So, all right, I'm going to kind of step back for a second and let you jump into what we got going on here tonight, sir.
Sure. So let's talk a little bit about training before we get into the races. So, we're, like you said earlier, we're about a month out from the races, so almost exactly a month out. So hopefully folks have been able to get in some mileage. I'll tell you that if you're joining us for the 5K, the good news is it's not too late. You can still get in some of those miles over the month of October and be ready for us in November. One of the benefits of the 5K race is there is no time limit on that race. They're not looking for 16-minute miles. Literally, we were one of the last groups to start last year. We'll probably be one of the last groups to start this year. We walked the entire time, except for Gabe, who sprinted the last 100 yards. We'll talk about that later. And everything else, we've literally walked Chris. We even lost Chris at one point, and we'll talk about how to find Chris a little bit later as well, some helpful tips on how to find Chris. But overall, just be ready. Know that you've got some time left in the month, and take advantage of that, and just kind of mentally get yourself ready for that race weekend adventure. So definitely kind of be thinking about that a little bit as you're going through the rest of the month. One of the big things I would encourage you to do is just kind of mentally picture yourself being there at the race and thinking through what do I need to bring with me? What am I running in right now? Am I comfortable? And that's kind of transitions us into what to bring to the race. But Chris, you have any questions on training? I know you've been getting in a lot of training lately, and you've gotten in all those miles, right?
Most of my miles have been stomach and facing straight down.
So you've been riding Tron?
No. I did ride Pirates on Monday, though.
We saw how that turned out.
Yeah, exactly. Doc said that wasn't what happened. So, but no, I hope that you guys are getting your mileage in, and if not, this is your 1 month warning. Heads up,
yep.
Inspiration, whichever you want to look at.
It's happening, people.
So,
but yeah, no. So everything's good. So let's talk a little about what to bring with you. Now, yes, we are going to be in Florida. It is going to be November. I remember, I believe it was 2 years ago, we actually had like mid 60s, if not low 60s, and windy weather the day of the 10K. It was actually fairly chilly in the morning, and we actually had rain that morning as well. So just understand that, it's, while you've seen Chris streaming throughout the summer and it is Florida, don't automatically assume that it's going to be balmy and just wonderful, weather. So in Florida, we think it's 60 is chilly, and that's true. So depending on where you're coming from, just realize you need to acclimatize yourself a little bit. Some of the things that I typically bring with me, I will actually go to local thrift store, Goodwill, something like that, and I'll get what I call a couple of throwaway layers for my races, depending on the time of year that I'm going. I typically don't need it in April, but in November and January and February, I'll typically bring at least one or two outer layers for me, at least like a sweatshirt or something. The really cool thing Disney does is they will actually let you kind of shed that outer layer right there at the start. So while we're in the corrals and you're not running yet, and you're maybe a little chilly, you have an opportunity to wear that outer layer. And then as soon as the race starts, you're able to take it off, or even before the race starts, you're able to take it off and kind of put it over to the side. Disney will actually collect all of those donated clothing pieces and donate them to local charities. So don't think that you're just throwing that away. Literally, Disney is making sure that is getting to a good home and is going to be able to be used by somebody. So don't feel like you're carting that down there and it's just going to get thrown away in a landfill somewhere. It can absolutely be used again, and they will donate it to local charities. So that's one thing I'll typically bring with me.
So, Calvin, just real quick question.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people wrapping themselves in tinfoil. What is going on with that? And when people are riding in their first races and they see that, what's going on there? And is that something that someone else should consider doing?
So that is a kind of a thermal blanket or a space blanket. So I actually have some that I'll typically carry with me on some of my races as well. And it can, you can get some that fold down to literally pocket size. Get the right camera angle. So pocket size here. And you can actually have that in a pocket with you. And if you get chilly, you can break that out. Now, you will absolutely want to ditch that before we start across the start line, because believe it or not, that thin little layer of foil will actually block the kind of chip that is on your running bib. And that will mean that the race system won't detect that you started the race. So you definitely are going to want to ditch those before you start the race. That's one good thing about the more kind of like a sweatshirt or a hoodie or a jacket kind of layer, is you actually could even wear that a little bit past the start, especially when we're walking, and give yourself a little bit more time to warm up. But overall, we may get down there and it could be 65 degrees and 70% humidity, and you're not going to need a thing other than what you normally would have. But it's always good to have a little something. That way, if we get down there in the morning of and the weather's a little chillier than you thought it was going to be, you're not finding yourself too cold as you're standing there in the corral waiting for the race to start. So let's talk a little bit about that race start just real quick. So we will typically be leaving our hotels anywhere between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. You'll arrive at the race location. The corrals themselves will open at 4, and the races will start, depending on where you are in the corral, somewhere between 5 and 5:45, 6 o'clock, especially for the 5K. And so we could be standing there for an hour and a half, potentially.
What time are races starting again?
I need to double check the 5K, Chris. I cannot remember for sure.
I can do that real quick if you want to. I'll go.
Yeah, if you don't mind, just double check me. But I want to say it's 5:30, but I want to double check that. So, typically corrals will open about an hour before race start. And if we all meet up and get a chance to kind of see each other, maybe get a group photo before the race starts, we could be standing around for up to maybe 2 hours before the race actually starts. So just be prepared for that. A pocket size. Now, you folks that have seen me at Epcot are going to laugh. A pocket size poncho is also not the worst thing to have with you, assuming you actually know how to put it on. I will need help. So You can definitely get a very small poncho that fits in a pocket, and that's a good thing to have with you as well. That way, if we do end up having a little rainy weather and you want to have something to kind of keep you dry before the race starts, or even potentially wear during the race, that poncho is a good option. Definitely a lot more feasible than an umbrella, let's say that. So, definitely good things to think about bringing with you. So Chris did confirm the 5K does start at 5 a.m. So the corral should open around 4, and the buses will start leaving around if you're staying on property, the buses will start leaving the Disney resorts around 3. So just be ready, and you should be good to go. As we're kind of working toward the actual races themselves, the other thing to bring with you is whatever you're already running in at home. Don't expect to come down and need to buy a bunch of stuff that you don't already have. Be comfortable. If you're planning on wearing a costume, and we will be talking about costumes in just a little bit, be sure to try to maybe wear that a little bit, especially if you're wearing a costume for the 10K or the half marathon. I'd say it's very, very important to kind of test out your costume for the 10K or the half marathon, because you would be surprised little spots that may chafe over a longer distance versus just kind of wearing it around the house for 5 minutes. You find maybe a little seam on the shirt that rubs you the wrong way. And by the time you've rubbed the wrong way for 6 miles or 13 miles, you find that you've actually worn a little sore on your skin, and potentially you're going to need to get a little Band-Aid or a little trip to the first aid tent afterwards. So, be sure to wear whatever you're planning on wearing for the races around, your home, around local race course a little bit. Just kind of make sure you're comfortable in it, but bring it with you. If you get down there and you realize, I forgot something, I forgot my gel, I forgot my headband, I forgot my headphones. If you want to run in headphones, especially for the 10K or the half, 5K, since we're working as a group, I'll typically not use my headphones. I'll typically use headphones for the 10K and the half. But for the 5K, since it's, a group activity, I'll typically not wear my headphones. But if that's something, you need to make yourself feel comfortable on the course, make sure to bring them with you. If you forget them, though, there are 2 big parts relative to merchandise at the RunDisney Expo. There is the RunDisney merchandise, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but there's a Runner's Expo before you ever get to the merchandise, the RunDisney merchandise. And that Runner Expo will have just about anything you need. It will have shirts, shorts, skirts, shoes, socks, just about anything you might need will be at that Merchandise Expo. So you can definitely be ready to go and be in a good position based on what's at that Runners Expo. So just bring what you normally would run in. Bring an excited attitude, because we're going to have a great time. And we're just going to have a good hangout and a nice relaxing 5K the morning of Friday. And then the morning of the 10K, I'll be treating Chris like a sled dog and pushing him around the race course with a whip. And then we get the half marathon on Sunday, and that'll be even more fun.
Whip.
Yes, Chris, you have questions?
So the race will be starting at 5 a.m. I did confirm that.
Thank you.
Which means corrals will open about 4.
Yep.
Okay. As far as where we're going to be meeting, and this is specifically for the 5K, though, if you are running for the 10K or the half and would like to get together and say hello, take a quick selfie together, that would be awesome as well if you're running those 2 races. But for the 5K, our plan is to get there as early as possible. Probably not do any of the characters, just because we want to make sure you guys can feel free to grab characters, but at least myself or Calvin will be staying by what I consider the corral side of the bleachers that will be found in front of the main DJ area. Okay. And if you don't know where that is, you make a note. Once you get there, you'll realize when you walk over to that area, there will be a huge stage with a DJ right smack dab in the middle of it, big screen behind them. In front of that will be a set of bleachers that runners can go up and sit and watch the DJ and everything else. There'll be characters to the left. There'll be characters to the right that you can go and get pictures with before the race. They will shut down right before the corrals open up. But if you're looking, and we would love for you guys to meet up, we'd love to have a group picture beforehand. The corral side, the corrals are going to be on one side of where the bleachers are at. With the corral side of those bleachers is where we're going to get together and sort of convene. And then we can, for those who are actually going to be running with us on the 5K or running in the group, we'll make our way to the corrals from there. We will be in the corrals for a bit because we are running with people who've never run before. We will be in the last corral. I don't think this was mentioned, but we were last year probably one of the last people to cross that start line.
We absolutely were.
I've never done that before. That can be very frightening. Now, mind you, we weren't the last ones to cross the finish line.
Nope.
But we were almost the last people to start the race. Everybody else, the first people who started the race had already finished taking their pictures, gone home, and was already halfway through their shower before we even got started.
That's
so don't be alarmed by that. There are no balloon ladies. We will not be kicked out of the race for this. Just be prepared for that potential for that to happen.
Yep.
But again, corral side bleachers before the corrals open, and then we will go into the crowd together and hang out, and we'll make our way through there. We'll get started, and not to worry or freak out. So.
Yep. Yeah, no, we'll have a good time, and we'll do that before each one of the races actually. So we'll hang out there for a little bit. Although Chris and I will be making our way to the corrals a little bit earlier on Saturday and Sunday to make sure we can get up toward the front of whichever corral I end up in or Chris ends up in. And anybody's welcome to join us. We'll be doing a run walk method for the 10K and the half, and we're going to have a good time. So if you want to join us for that, we'll synchronize our swatches and get everything going.
They still sell swatches?
They do, I believe. I think it's a high end brand, but
I couldn't afford swatches in high school.
I can't afford swatches now.
Yeah.
So kind of back to the race weekend, Chris, let's talk about that a little bit as far as even before we get to the 5K. Let's talk about the Expo a little bit.
Yeah. So I would love to do with you guys, especially for those who've never been before. We did this last year. Sometimes it can be a little hard to execute, especially with the virtual queue. The first day of the Expo, you will have to have a virtual queue in order to enter the Expo. So for those who are unfamiliar with races, or for those who just enjoy having people around with them to have a good time with while they're waiting in line, what I'm planning on doing is meeting up at one of the hotels for a quick service breakfast that morning. They should I think last year they opened it at 7 a.m. This year they may open it at 8 a.m. for the virtual queue. The actual Expo and merchandise place will not open until, I believe, 10. But you will need to get a virtual queue to enter that first day. I think after the first day, it's just come and go as you please. Mm-hmm. That first day is all virtual queue. So as long as you are within a, 50-mile area,
about 50.
You'll want to make sure you're on either cell signal or Wi-Fi so they can tell your geographic location. But when you get up that morning, if you're not going to be hanging out with us, just make sure that whatever time, and we'll let you guys know, we'll make sure to put this information out there. 7 or 8 a.m., they're going to open up the virtual queue. And just like you'd sign up for Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy, you can, and you don't have to be someone who's running a race. Matter of fact, anyone can get a virtual queue. You will tell the My Disney Experience app, I want the ESPN Wild Water Sports, and that I have 3 people with me or 4 people with me. They do not have to be runners. And then just like the others, you'll grab a virtual queue. What I would like to propose, and this is what I will do, we'll give more details of exact locations, but I would like to meet at if they open it up at 8 a.m., instead of having a quick or a table service like we did last year, we're just going to meet somewhere like Art of Animation and have a breakfast together at the quick service location there. all kind of, have breakfast together, hang out. This is, of course, Thursday, not Friday, but Thursday. And then when it comes open for the virtual queue, we can all be together, grab our virtual queues together, and go as a group over to the ESPN Wild World of Sports. Calvin will be joining us as soon as he gets off the plane and is driving over there as well. So that we can all go over there, check out the merchandise together, and then those who need a little extra help, we can take you guys over to pick up your race bibs and also go over to the expo. That's really what we'd like to do for Expo morning, just to make sure that if you are running for the first time, that you have somebody to kind of help you out and you don't have to figure it out yourself. There may be a little overlay, as far as some people's virtual queues, as far as everybody can get in, but we had a pretty good time getting everybody in kind of together as a group last year. So we'll try to do that again this time as well.
Okay. Yep. And, relative to the expo, how you get there, RunDisney will be running buses all weekend. RunDisney.
Oh,
okay. So they'll be running buses all weekend.
Got a soft drink.
So they'll be running buses all weekend. You can drive yourself to the expo if you want, or you can catch that transportation from any of the resorts there on property, and they will be able to take you to the Disney Expo. You'll be able to get your bib. You'll be able to get your shirts. You'll actually get your shirts for the race event there as well. And then you have the option of going to the merchandise area for the run as well. That's where the virtual queue comes into play, is specifically for that race merchandise. You don't actually have to have the virtual queue to go get your bib or to go get to get into the Runner Expo.
The virtual queue is only to buy the additional merchandise.
Yep. So, but there are definitely some things that you may want to look for there. There are pins that look like the race medals, things like that. So also lots of good things at the Runner Expo. One of the things, though, that you'll need when you get to the Race Expo is your waiver. Now, if you've registered for the races, you should have already gotten some. Yes, just like that, Chris. So
I didn't even know she was here.
So you should have gotten some emails from RunDisney in the last couple of weeks about signing your waiver. That gives you a chance to digitally sign it before you go down, and then they will be able to send you a kind of a link that tells you that you have a digital proof that you've signed your waiver. You're able to show that. They will be able to look you up and give you your bib at the actual expo. That'll be the first step you take in the registration process once you're there. If for some reason you get to the airport or you're driving halfway down and you are having that moment of, oh, I never signed my waiver, or I left my waiver at home, it's okay.
No.
We actually, Chris, I think maybe Springtime Surprise, you signed the waiver on site last year, didn't you?
I did it on site.
Yep. So there are kind of little stations there that have printers, and you're able to sign your waiver there on site, take it with you to go get your bib, and you're good from there. So just know that if you have forgotten that waiver, all is not lost. You're still going to be able to run. You'll just do that once you get to the expo. But assuming you have that waiver taken care of before you get there, you have that link that they'll send you with kind of telling you what your race bib number will be, because that's how they organize the distribution for the bibs. So you'll know what your bib number is. You'll go to that station. You'll be able to get your bib. One unique thing about what we're doing, so if you're running the 5K with us and then running another race in the weekend or running the challenge in the weekend, you'll actually have to make 2 stops. So you'll have to stop and get your 5K bib, and then you'll need to stop and get your other bib for your other race, whether it's the 10K, the half, or the challenge. So that's 3 separate stations that Disney will have set up in addition to the 5K station. But unlike things like Dopey, where you're you're one-stop shop for all the races at your bib station, you will have to make multiple stops to get the 5K bib and then go get your bib for your other races if you're running anything else. So kind of go through the expo, you go through that process, we finish up with the merchandise, and that's kind of our plan for Thursday. Everybody's free to have kind of the rest of the day to themselves, get some rest, get ready for the next morning.
Official, do not stay out too late. Don't make a mistake of determining that it's Thursday and you will have to be getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday morning to get there on time. So do not make a late night of it. Don't be mean to yourself. So we don't have anything planned for Thursday night that is official.
Yep.
Friday, of course, we're going to run the race. Afterwards, we would love, even if you guys don't run the entire race with us, we would love, again, after the race is over, to meet in the same area before the race, after the race. If we can get a group photo with or without a character, we would love to do that again. Everybody will have their medals, and we would love to have just some documentation of, like, in the moment after the race, grab some videos just to kind of celebrate with everybody. But we still would love to have a really nice photo of everyone who run that 5K that morning. Whether or not you run with us as a group or not, if you are part of the Magic Crew and you're part of our group, we would love to have you guys join us later that day on Friday at 2:30 p.m. in the Magic Kingdom. And this is for everyone who's running in the 5K. Join us, or we will be meeting right around Main Street, right in front of the main hub. It's before the Walt statue. And bring your medals. You do not have to wear your race shirt. As a matter of fact, you probably will want to go back to wherever you're going to go, shower, take a nap, whatever, and do whatever else you want to do as far as change. But bring your medals. We would love you guys to join us at 2:30. The reason we're doing it at 2:30 is we wanted to make sure that if you wanted to spend another day or at another park other than Magic Kingdom, we want to make sure you had a chance to park hop and come for an official Disney Photo Pass photo in front of the castle with all of our 5K medals. And love to have you guys join us for that.
Chris, one thing, though. We forgot to tell him something about the 5K race.
That's true. As far as speaking of what you're going to be wearing, right?
Right, exactly. How will you know who another member of the crew might be?
We need to have something that's kind of bring everybody together.
Maybe ear to ear. I got it. Okay. What if? Yeah, this is a Alice in Wonderland themed race, right?
Alice in Wonderland.
What if everybody that wanted to wore rabbit ears? That's easy to pack, right?
Nice. But wait a minute. Just like little ears?
Yeah, just little bunny ears. Maybe, if you got a cotton tail or something that you want to wear too,
But
that's
it's got to be with the theme, though.
Well, it's Alice in Wonderland. It's the White Rabbit.
Oh. You guys want to be White Rabbits for the Alice in Wonderland 5K?
Yeah. Now, Chris and I might do something a little different. But if you want, there is an Amazon link that Chris and I will be able to post both to the Facebook group and then some other places so everybody can find it. It's an easy little ready-made bunny set. It's just little ears, tail, and if you want to wear it. And easy to pack, easy to get down there. And yes, it is absolutely Wabbit season.
So once we are done, I will be posting a Amazon link on the Run Disney support group's Facebook page for Ear to Ear Magic with a link for you guys so that everyone has the same look. It's very inexpensive. We don't want to make it an additional cost. We didn't want to go, all right, guys, we're all going to dress up in these $65 outfits. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, first of all, it's heavy. I can't, I'm already spending money coming all the way to do that. So it's very inexpensive. It's a pair of ears. I think it's a bow tie.
Yeah.
And a white fluffy tail. It won't interfere with your bib. It will be easy to take on and off as you need to. And if you wanted to wait until after we got into the crowd, it's something you can easily put back on. But we thought it would be really fun is if everybody would dress up as the White Rabbits. If
I know
have something else.
Exactly. And I was about to say, I know costumes are a big part of the Run Disney experience. And if you already have planned for a costume for the 5K, wear it. Absolutely do whatever's going to, kind of make you happy and make that an experience. But for those of you that maybe were wondering, I don't know what to do. I've not
what to wear.
Or, I don't want to pack.
We want you guys to be a part of that group. So we're going to make it real easy for those who might need it. We've got a really great one. We'll provide you that link tonight after the call.
Yep, and that'll be for the 5K. You don't have to bring that to the park to wear for the middle photos or anything later or anything like that. That'll just be for the 5K. We'll wear it easy. It'll be easy to find Chris. For other reasons that you'll understand later. And we'll.
Pickle Shake is not going to be here, but Pickle Shake's actually going to be purchasing the White Rabbit outfit and wearing it, watching with us when we're running, because we will be live streaming the 5K that morning. So. We want you guys to be a part of it. We want you guys to be feel like that you're part of the whole experience. So not only will we have everyone hopefully dressed up as white rabbits or something else in Alice in Wonderland, but we will also have the community there either live, or they can go back and watch it and replay and see what the entire experience of this is. Because the thing is, we want to encourage others. We want to inspire them to say, you know what, I want to do that next year. So we will be live streaming the 5K that morning.
Tell your friends, tell your family, get them up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We're going live, people. You're going to be YouTube celebrities.
So it will be a lot of fun. So we will provide you the link for the White Rabbit outfits, and let us know if you guys have any questions over on the Facebook support group.
Yep. So that's the race. You mentioned the 2:30 meetup at the castle, but wait, there's more. Chris, what else do we have planned later in the afternoon?
So here's the thing. We want to make sure that not everybody who will be there that weekend will actually be running the race. So we understand that. Some people will be there to support other runners. Some will be there just because they just happen to be there that weekend. Maybe they'll be early for Jersey Week. Who knows? But people like, I think Lori mentioned it before, she's not going to be racing, but she would love to be able to come to the meetups. This was probably one of the best things that happened last year during that week, for the weekend last year. And we're going to do this again. We are going to have an open space for us to gather together over at the Polynesian Village Resort. And that's, I believe, we set that for what, 4 o'clock?
Yeah, I think we set it for 4 o'clock. That gives us time to do the photo and get time to get over.
For 2:30, we're going to take photos for everybody who have their medals and want to take a photo together in front of the castle. Then we're going to make our way over to the Polynesian Village, meet out in the Tiki Terrace outside on the patio. We're going to basically take over the patio area as much as possible outside of Trader Sam's Grotto. I know Steven's already thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe I should see if I can come after all. But we'll get a Nautilus just for Steven. But we would love for you guys, whether you're running or not, whether you ran with us that morning or you're not going to run till the 10K the next day, or you're not running any races at all, you just happen to be there and love to meet up. We would love for you guys to join us at about 4 o'clock at the Polynesian Tiki Terrace over at Grotto, and we're just going to hang out for an hour or two. We may even move around a little bit. Who else? Depends on what's going on. But we can grab some drinks. The Tambu Lounge will open up later. You can even go in and get some sticky ribs and noodles and stuff like that and bring it out. But we just want you guys to be able to come in and just say hello, meet some other people in the Magic Crew, and hang out for a bit. So that'll be between 4 and 6 p.m. We'll make sure we have about 2 hours there at the Poly. We will be starting out at the Tiki Terrace.
Yep. And that will end we're only doing the 5K in the morning, but based on everything else we've got going, we'll call it the marathon day of Ear to Ear Magic for Friday. We'll have the 5K race in the morning, the photo there for folks that want to bring their medals, and getting the group photo there at the Cinderella's Castle at 2:30, and then at 4 o'clock we'll meet at the Polynesian. Weather permit, if the weather's a little dicey on us, we'll definitely put something out on the Facebook group as to where we'll relocate. We will be at the Polynesian.
Last year we met out in the couches where the Ohana people usually gather together for dinner, and it worked out well. But we just figured it'd be really nice if we could go outside and again take advantage of the outside space of the chairs and tables out there as well. So
that wraps up Friday. Everybody, if you're only doing the 5, or if you're just joining us for the 5K, thank you. We've had a great time. We'll, we look forward to hopefully seeing you maybe a little bit more throughout the rest of the weekend as we have some other stuff going on. But then we get to Saturday. And if you are doing the 10K, we have Ear to Ear crew that will be doing the 10K. So if you want to try to meet up a little bit before the race, we'll do the same spot to the kind of the left side of the bleachers, and we'll be able to do that. One thing I forgot to share, Chris, and this may help folks understand now, one of the things that I want to stress is this is from last year. So just understand that what we've got is the race course. Well, I had the race course. 1 second.
Okay, you go this way really fast. Something gets in your way. Turn.
So this is the 5K race course, and you'll notice this starts in the Epcot parking lot. And the other thing that you'll notice is for last year, the 10K also started in the Epcot parking lot, as did the half marathon. Started in the Epcot parking lot. Actually, nope, sorry. Yeah, that one, the half marathon actually started out on the highway and then came back in Epcot. So regardless, relative to kind of pre-entering the corrals, if you want to meet in the Epcot parking lot there to the left of those bleachers that Chris mentioned earlier, that'll be helpful. Also, for those of you in the 5K, assuming we have the same course as we did last year, this is kind of what it looked like. So we'll start out, we'll run backstage a good bit for the first mile or so, and then we'll go around World Showcase. Around the American Theater, you'll actually have a water stop that Disney will provide. There'll be character stops throughout, and then we will finish up going around the World Showcase. We may duck real quick behind Morocco and France to come back out, and then we'll finish back up in the front of the park there in the parking lot there at Epcot as well for the 5K. Somewhat similar start and finish for the 10K, except we've got a slightly different route where we're going to be going back through Hollywood Studios. And that's our 10K route. And that starts around the same time that we talked about earlier. So that'll start around 5 a.m. as well. Disney Transportation, just like we talked about earlier, will get you to the start line for the races themselves. If you're staying on property, that Disney Transportation makes it pretty easy. We were joking earlier in chat about some of those bus drivers getting lost. They are not Disney drivers. They are folks that Disney has contracted with to come in, but they will get you to the race course. We've actually held race starts because we knew there were buses still coming in from the resort. So don't worry that if you're on Disney,
if you're an official Disney bus transportation, they will get you to the race. Do not worry about that.
Yep. So don't worry about that. But that just takes a lot of stress out because Disney sometimes will introduce new rules around people that are driving themselves. And they'll say, hey, if you're at Epcot before 4 a.m., great. You can park at Epcot. But anytime after 4, you got to go over to Hollywood Studios. And we're going to get a bus from Hollywood Studios to take you over to Epcot because some of the routes, as you can see, do involve the entrance ramps and the entrance roads to Epcot. So Disney will at some point cut off that entrance to Epcot for parking. And if you're not already in there, they may have you diverted to another park to park first before they bring you in. So it is a lot easier if you're using that Disney transportation at all possible. So the 10K, we'll do the same thing. We don't really have a lot of plans officially for the rest of the day on Saturday. There's a few of us that have talked about maybe doing Animal Kingdom as kind of a little kind of easy breezy hangout spot. And there's a lot of open spaces over at Animal Kingdom. So weather permitting and weather behaving, then, that may be a good plan. We'll anticipate heading over to Epcot and or Animal Kingdom after we finish up the 10K and, hang out a little bit the rest of the day there at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. So nothing, like I said, no other official meetups as far as Saturday is concerned, because we don't want to over plan things like this. If you guys are going to be in and pop in the Animal Kingdom, feel free to, text us, chat, make sure that we can meet up and say hello, ride rides, whatever, stuff like that unofficially as a group. And then, of course, we'll be doing the same thing again on the half marathon. Again, if you're running, if you reach out to us, let us know. I know FMF are after. I know you ran the half last year as well. We'd love to have just a quick group picture for those who were running that. And then on Sunday, we will, again, nothing official after the race, but those who were going to the post-race party, that night on Sunday. Again, we would love to. We're going to pick a place. If there's anybody who is doing that weekend, we'll get your name. We can meet up at the beginning. You guys don't have to spend the whole evening together, but again, we'd love to just say hello, take a little quick photo, and say congratulate everybody on the races, and then go get all the pickle shakes you can get. And that will be the official schedule of what we've got for the weekend. Nothing too heavy, but we're going to see a lot of you guys all weekend long. There will be a lot of unofficial running around, having fun, eating, stuff like that kind of things as well. And then, of course, if you're still around on Monday, don't forget, wear your medals on Monday to the Magic Kingdom. Get your pictures before you start heading out for official Medal Mondays.
Yep.
We will post the schedule on the Run group, and we'll make sure that you guys have it, and also give you guys a official way of letting us know which things we can kind of keep a lookout for you, especially for that Thursday morning for the Expo and Friday morning those who are going to be running. So
what we may do, Chris, and we still got to work out the logistics here, but what we might do is we might make a post for each of the days. So make a post for Thursday, make a post for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you're looking to participate in one of the events that day, or you're looking to catch up with folks, if you post a comment to that day's kind of post, then folks know kind of where to look, and we can kind of hopefully use that as one way to keep up with each other. And we'll see if we can come up with something a little bit better, even if we can think of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I do want to, kind of pause, Chris, see if folks have questions. I saw one question, kind of what's the post-race food? Jill is remembering it exactly right. We did get a banana and a little box of snacks. Last year had the
nacho chips.
Waffle. Yep.
It has a little waffle snack.
Yep.
It has nacho chips, a thing of nacho cheese.
Yep.
And what else is it? There's something else in there.
I can't remember.
I should know this. And I ate all of them too.
There might have been pretzels.
Yeah, something sweet and salty. A few things like that. And then, of course, they give you some Powerade or water.
Yep.
At the race, and an actual bottle of Powerade if you want it. Not a little cup, like, throw it like you do on the. Does that make you feel better when you're running a race to just ball that cup up and just throw it? I still want to throw them in the trash can. So
just watch when you're throwing it to make sure nobody's trying to pass you on the right, because that just gets awkward when you throw the water on.
Well, they passed me on the left, and that was their fault in the first place. So, on your left, that's not a good thing, dude.
But yeah, no, and so there is other food there at the race finish. I think there's typically a couple of food trucks there, maybe some coffee, things like that.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some stuff there as well. So any other questions the team may have for tonight? Really looking forward to kind of getting everybody in Florida.
Throw the questions into the chat now, guys. This is your opportunity. What do you guys want to know about coming to Disney, getting to the races, what's going to happen during the races, anything else about the schedule? This is what we would love. And yeah, Dopey Runner, it is. If you can make it into a can, don't make somebody pick it up. I mean, nobody's making a personal best record here. Nobody's running for Brazil, so don't make a cast member come along. They're volunteers for the most part. Don't make them pick up your trash if you don't have to. If you step on a paper cup, someone else is going to fall. So make sure you pick the trash can. So,
we should have a good full weekend of kind of everybody having a chance to hang out. For those of you that are doing your first Run Disney event, welcome. We're excited that you're joining us. We're excited that you're starting this journey. And
Randy and Heidi, by the way, I ran into them. Well, I didn't really physically run into them like I've been doing lately. That's when I had two good eyes. Ran into Randy and Heidi at the park. I think it was over at Magic Kingdom, wasn't it, guys? And they are signing up and doing this with us. So we're excited to have some people come and do something like this new. I knew for me, it was my first race was exciting, but it was also very nerve-wracking. It was a little scary. And I ran by myself, and it was still a little scary. I had to get there by myself, I have to run the race by myself, and I had to get back by myself. Just like everything else, it's always nice to have somebody to walk along, answer your questions. And you, even if you don't ask a question, something about being with another person who knows where you're going instantly just makes everything a little less stressful. So we're glad you can join us, Randy and Heidi. Looking forward to it. FM Ever After, first aid stations, do they have KT tape and salt packs?
Not sure about the salt packs. The KT tape is usually at the Runner Expo. So usually what they're going to do, you can actually go get KT tape at the Runner Expo, and they will actually tape you up at the Expo. I don't know if they have that at the first aid stations as well, but for sure at the Runner Expo, they have that. Jill had asked about the ears and everything. So we will put a post out for the ears. What we're posting is just ears, bow tie, and a bunny tail, relative to whatever else you want to wear with that.
Anything else you want?
Shirt, shorts. You want to wear a onesie. You do you. Traffic cone I can't recommend, but if that's the direction you want to go,
it's hard to get a bow tie over the top of the traffic.
It is. But yeah, no, we'll post that to the Facebook group and make sure everybody knows that wants to take advantage of that can. And that way we'll identify each other a little bit easier on the race course as well if you're in that little set. But overall, I mean, I think we've got a good plan. We've got a full weekend starting on Thursday, wrapping up Sunday evening. For those of you that are not running the half marathon. I'm double checking right now. Typically, Disney will sell tickets to the post-race party separately. And as of right now, it is sold out. So the post-race party is sold out at this point. So if you are running the half marathon or separately have purchased tickets for the post-race party, we'll be there as well. And that will be kind of the bookends for our weekend, starting with the Expo and ending with that post-race party.
There was something else I just thought about, and I just forgot it. It was a good one too, and I'll remember it in just a second. Oh yeah, RunDisney. Facebook group. We would love for you guys who are running the races. Now we want to have some like group pictures in here and there. We will be posting those on Magic. The ear-to-ear Magic Instagram, and we'll be putting it on Threads. We'll be putting it on Facebook. If we take videos, they may go on TikTok. They may go on YouTube. So we would love to have you guys be involved in that and be a part of some of that content, because I get a little camera happy. I got lost last year. The entire crew was running, and I stopped to get a quick video of one of the characters, and I lost you guys for a bit. But what I wanted to say about that is we have a Facebook group now. So we would love for you guys, as you're going through the weekend, not everybody who's part of the Facebook group will be here this weekend. So feel free to post pictures. That's what I love. That's why we did it on Facebook, guys. That's why we moved it from Instagram to Facebook, because Instagram, it was a chat and it didn't work as well. The Facebook group, we want you guys, while you're going through for the weekend, if you got a really great moment that happened during the race, or you get a really good photo of a character while you're running the 10K or something like that, post it on the Facebook group with us. We'd love to see it. And that is just something we would love you guys to have the potential to be able to share your stuff with everybody else in the RunDisney community that's part of our group. So make sure to put it on your own social media, but then put it over on the Facebook group so everybody else can see it as well. Because everybody's going to say we're going to get done with the race, and someone's going to go, what characters were out there? What character is that? If you get a good picture of a character, you can share it on the group so everybody else can know. And we'll be doing the same thing for some of our officials and some of our things for Instagram and stuff like that as well.
Now, we won't be streaming the 10K or the half because we're just not that crazy yet. But we will post some pictures, and Chris and I are both signed up for the 10K and a half as well. So we'll be there in the start corrals with anybody that's there, and we're looking forward to crossing that finish line with everybody else as well.
So just to throw this out there, when we have our meetup on Friday, I may just have to have a camera there and have it turned on and just let it sit there. And anybody wants to walk up to it and say hello, maybe we'll do that for a bit. Maybe not for the whole time, but we'll see how that goes as well. So we want to make sure that everyone can, have a chance to congratulate everybody and again, just be a part of the community in that way. So
Amanda, you had a question about the when is the race. So the particular race that we're doing as a group is going to be the 5K. That's going to be 5 a.m. Friday morning there at Disney, typically at Epcot. The one thing that we will, we don't know for sure yet is exactly where the race starts will be. Disney will typically set up the pre-race area the same regardless of where the race start is. So that's why we're pretty confident about the bleacher location as a meetup. So if for some reason Disney has us starting at Hollywood Studios or something odd for the 5K or any of the other races, that's just a good plan to have because that's typically there regardless of where we start. But the 5K and 10K and half marathon courses will be announced by Disney and posted here in the next couple of weeks as we lead into the race weekend. And we'll make sure to post that to the Run Disney group as well so that folks can more easily find what those race courses will be and maps and things like that. They will not tell us what characters will be on course. There will not be a marker to tell you, hey, you're going to have a character stop at mile 2 and mile 3 and mile 6. It's going to be a surprise as you're on the course. But they will mark for you bathrooms and first aid stations, water stations, things like that on those maps.
If we are going as a group, I will let you guys know right now. I will, because I'm streaming, I will at least slow down to let everyone who's watching with us virtually see the character. The lines for the characters can get quite long. And I don't anticipate that I'm going to be waiting in line for a character unless it's just, this amazing character we've never seen before. You guys are in no way obligated to stay with the group. If your most favoritist of character shows up, jump in. Feel free to go see that character. Get a photo with that character. Then pull up your phone, find where the stream is, and act like a Disney dog and bolt. You feel free to join us and rejoin us at some point. We will be taking a very laid back stride. So it is a potential for you guys to catch back up. But we want you guys to know, please stop and take a picture with a character if you really like it. But for the most part, I will just be slowing down just enough to show who the character is. And then we will continue to move along in that way. We will not be going too fast. This is not a race to end all races. This is a race to have fun with everybody as a group. And we will be probably, I think last year, do you remember what we did last year? It was the little.
I'd have to go look it up, but I want to say a little over an hour.
Just over an hour. Yeah.
Right. We took our time. But as we learned last year, if you lose Chris and if you lose the broader group on the 5K, the good news is he's streaming the 5K, so you can actually start the stream up and see where he is. Yes, it's on a slight delay, but you can still find him. So we did use that tool last year. Amanda asked about how much is a race. The races vary in price. It depends on the distance and how many you're signing up for, because some of them are kind of package deals. Unfortunately, right now, all of the in-person races are sold out for the November Wine and Dine. However, I'm looking right now, Chris, to see if the virtuals are still available for Wine and Dine.
Yeah, I was just on there.
Let's see here. Yes, actually, the virtuals are still available. The virtual 5K is sold out, but the 2-course challenge, the 10K and the half are still available as virtual events, which means you would run that from home or a location of your choice. So that doesn't enable you to run in person the weekend of the event, but it would give you an opportunity if you wanted to pursue that. And, folks, a lot of us run for the medals, and, my wall is covered with medals behind me. But you don't have to have the medal to be able to do this. If you just want to go out and do a 5K the same time we're doing our 5K that Friday morning, feel free. It's about getting out there and putting that first foot out there and getting the enjoyment of kind of the group activity, whether you're there with us in person or virtually. It's still a group kind of challenge, and we're putting that out there. And as the weeks and months go on, if you decide at later time you want to join us for an in-person opportunity, we've got plenty of opportunities coming up. I think we're going to have crew members at every single race this season, starting with Wine and Dine and all the way through the end of the race season with the Springtime Surprise.
Don't forget about the 12Ks of Christmas.
Yes.
which will be coming up in December. If you guys are interested and you enjoy seeing the 5K in person and like, you know what, this will be fun to do virtually, you can always sign up for the 12Ks of Christmas. It's actually 3 4Ks?
3 4Ks. Yep.
Okay, remember if it's 3 4Ks or 4 3Ks.
It's 3 4Ks, which is leads to the 12Ks. So 3 times 4 is 12. 1 plus 2 plus 2. What's what? Carry the 4. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So you can sign up for those virtually. And again, at any point you decide that this is something you want to do, stay in with us here on the Facebook group. We will let you guys know when upcoming race registrations are. We'll guide you through it. We'll answer some questions, and we'll even sometimes go live on race registration days just to make sure that you guys got yourself covered. So, well, guys, I want to say again, thank you to Calvin for coming in tonight, for being such an amazing mentor and pusher, and we're running, and for just being here to help you guys and to support anyone who needs help. Again, this isn't anything official. This is no official coach. This is no official training. This is just something to make sure that you do not have to do what I had to do in the beginning and do it by myself. That's no fun. This is the whole point, is to do it as a group and to just celebrate the experience of being in a race like this. You should never have to cross the finish line and get into a vehicle and not have anyone there to take a picture with or to celebrate with, especially if it's your first race. So thank you guys for joining us. If you guys have questions, we will be posting more things over on the Facebook group. Feel free to ask questions there. We'll make sure to get those answered. And we will continue to be here for you guys up until the race weekend. And I cannot wait to have you guys all there on the start line that Friday morning. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
Be a blast.
If there are no other questions, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you so much, Jill, Greg, Amy, Amanda, for everybody who's popped in here tonight. And whether you're running with us this upcoming Wine and Dine, or just going to show up to be a part of the meetups, or you're just interested in coming to a future race, we are so thankful that you guys are here to just be a part of it. So thank you for being a part of the Magic Crew. Thank you for supporting others and helping others to do this as well. And we cannot wait to see you guys at the races come November. So thank you, Calvin. Once again, greatly appreciate it. And we'll tomorrow, guys, 26K celebration character palooza in the Magic Kingdom. I got to get to bed because it's going to be a long day. Whew. Do you think we can do it? Do you think we can do all 26 characters?
If you could do a half marathon, you can do 26 characters.
If you count some of the people in my head, I've got half of them already. So you guys have a great night. Thank you guys so much. Again, thank you, Calvin. And we'll see you guys in the parks. Thanks, everybody.
In the parks, folks. Thank you.
Bye. Hey, I'm gonna put my outro. You like my outro?
What's your outro?
I don't know. Let's do the Halloween one. You want to be spooky?
Yeah.
All right, guys.